In this video, we're going to be talking about the post functions within the workflows. So the post functions are basically there to be executed when the transition already has happened to a certain status. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at this simplified workflow where we can actually talk about what kind of post functions you can actually have. So if we go around these transitions right here, we're going to see post functions. We're going to see the post functions right here. And it says that there is actually 6 post functions. And when we actually click on this, so we can actually that there is a to-do transition. And from here, what is actually happening is you can basically see from all the post functions what does it do. So first of all, the resolution of the issue will be cleared. This actually means if from the down status has actually been moved to the to-do status, the resolution and that strike through that you actually see on the work item will be gone. And then it says set issue status to the link status of the destination workflow step. Add a comment to an issue if one is entered during a transition. Update change history for an issue and store issue in the database. So as you can see, a lot of things are actually indeed happening in the backend here. And also, what it's happening is that a reindex is happening where it says reindex an issue to keep indexes in synchronization with the database. And last but not least, there is a generic event that has been fired to be processed by the listeners. Now, this generic event is basically going to be a defined system event where mostly this is regarding the notifications, but that also is not the case. That it shouldn't be the case here. So what you can actually do in here, you can go and add a post function in here. Now, these are the options of the post functions that you're going to see from here. So let me just position myself here. So you have the option to assign to the current user, assign to the lead developer, and what actually is what this says, this is the project lead or the component lead. So either of those two, this issue gets assigned to. Assigned to reporter, clear field value. This is something that you can also do. Copy value from the other field, which is also this is a specific thing. Now it says script runner post function. This is only gonna be appearing if you have script runner being added to your Jira instance. So if you have installed it previously, it will be there. Set issue security level based on the user's project role. Um, this is okay. You can actually do this, but you need to have the issue security scheme previously being applied to your project. So for this post function to actually work. If you don't have this, it won't work at all. You also have the option to trigger a webhook. Basically, that Jira will post the issue content in JSON format to the URL specified. You also have the other things such as update issue custom field, where basically, well, you have the custom fields that you can define and the issue field. Now, when it says issue field, it is actually pointing out to the system fields. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out is if you have some of the apps being installed as, for example, the JWME by AppFire, you're going to be having a lot more post functions to be actually adding to the transition itself. So you can make your post functions to be more powerful as they are. So what we can actually do in here is we can, let's say, update the issue field. And when I go from this, it's going to say to me, okay, this is the issue field that we're actually having, what the field value is going to be. And also we have this empty option in here where we can define the specific user. So if this is for the assignee, for example, so we have assignee, we have description, we have environment, priority, resolution, summary, original estimate. So all of these fields right here, these are the system fields. So I can go around and I can go for the description and I can say, what is the field value in here? And I'm going to be saying description has been set. All right, so the another thing that you need to watch out is to make sure that value set is valid for the project using this workflow. Otherwise, the transition may fail at the execution time. All right, so I can actually add it in here, and my post function has been indeed added. Now, what actually happens in here is, as you can see, this has been now in the first order. Now what you can actually do is you can define the order of how this post function will actually be executed. It's just like in code when you're writing lines of code in your code editor. It goes line by line, so it executes line by line. So it really depends in here what is happening, right? So we have this, and in order for this to actually work, we actually have publish draft. We're gonna say no. I don't want to say save a backup copy of this. All right, so we have everything being set in here. Now, if you actually go back and I go for my project in here, so yeah, I have some options in here. So for example, yeah, and if we actually have some options in here, let me see if I move it back. Description has been set. And basically it's done. And as you can see, it works because the post function was actually being triggered in here. And that is the very first thing that will actually happen. So it will update the field value and it goes all over. So this actually means even if the description was pre-filled with some kind of a text, if there is a post function in here that actually updates the field, it will overwrite, in this specific case, this description right here. So this is everything that you need to know about the post functions within the Jira workflows. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See ya in the next video. Bye.